Ladies and gentlemen, the C-17 is now approaching from your right. Please notice how quiet it is while passing by show center. This gives the operators a tactical advantage while flying low over hostile territories or near heavily populated cities.
Must be the first time in a few years that expression has been said over the radio. We'll see the B-200 starting rolling on the left-hand end of the runway there, followed by the Texans in 30-second stream takeoff, and that means a 30-second delay before the Texans follow. At the same time as they go past them on the runway, the three helicopters will lift and traverse left to right down the grass on the far side, and after that, as you can see now, the biggies will line up. The Beech-200 PL-21 King Air from number 42 Squadron based here in Ohio. Followed by a pair of T-6 Texan 2s from 14th Squadron Central Flying School, also based here in Ohio. Looking out of the helicopters, you can see the 109 is lifted and is ready. Down the runway. The Boeing 757, also from number 40 Squadron, based at RNZAF Air Tattoo Feb in Auckland. Okay, like I said, those aircraft have been done positioned for some max fly pasts before they all split off for their individual displays.
The positive for today's demonstration is Major Richard's meeting, call sign punch, from Fort Collins, Colorado. Major's meeting is a veteran fighter pilot with more than 1,500 hours in jet aircraft. The safety observer for today's demonstration is Captain Dakota Nova Newton, also an F-16 fighter pilot from Parker, Colorado. Launching Major's meeting today are Staff Sergeant Byron Cole from Las Vegas, Nevada, Staff Sergeant Stephen Pager from Johnstown, New York, and Senior Airman Charlie Bowles from Pearl River, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, from your right, Major Speeding in the F-16 Fighting Falcon. positioning and slowing the F-16 down in preparation for a slow speed pass. While the Viper can fly at more than twice the speed of sound, the slow speed controllability is just as important to those who fly. As Punch approaches Show Center from the left, notice the gray paint scheme of the F-16, one that's designed to make it more difficult to find visually in conditions ranging from bright sunshine sky to dull overcast. As Major Speeding passes Show Center, he will apply full afterburner and accelerate the aircraft into a near vertical climb, demonstrating the F-16's awesome wing ratio. As he turns to the downwind leg of the landing pattern. As he approaches the runway, he will decelerate to about 150 miles per hour, enabling the F-16 to stop at less than 3,000 feet if necessary. At its ability to take off from relatively short runways, and you have a fighter that can operate from thousands of airfields in virtually every country in the world. While today's demonstration shows you how well the F-16 can maneuver in combat, what we cannot show you is its striking power. The Viper can hit targets well outside visual range while flying faster than the speed of sound. Has a superb view provided by Boeing canopies, and you have the world's best single-seat, single-engine, multi-role fighter. On behalf of the 35th Fighter Wing Wild Weasels and the commander of the Pacific Air Force's General J. O'Shaughnessy, we thank you for being with us today.
Very often. And we're going to follow that with our entire... engines get pretty loud. That's a mouthful, isn't it? If anyone out there has a notepad. Turbofan engines. They each produce 42,000 pounds of thrust. And on the commentary notes here, it says something that's just guaranteed to annoy the other half of Ford scoring, and it says, together they could lift an empty C-130 Hercules vertically. But I bet they've never tried. They've been slowing the aircraft again, down back to 145 knots with the gears down, it comes around again. It's still around in military service that actually aren't allowed to land in quite a lot of very populated city areas because their engines are too noisy. But that is not the case with our 757. Okay, low to the right then, lining up along the runway for a high-speed pass, 600 kilometers an hour. Take a bit of can on your camera. And after that, we will be repositioning the aircraft to land back on.
Not your average airline.
I think not your average passenger would want to be on board right now with the hang of a thing going into approach to
I think that'd be fabulous. Half the crowd. How many would want to be on that flight? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
Okay, like I said, Woody's going to reposition to land. For New Zealand weather, so they really enjoy coming here to train with us in our environment. And also, like I alluded to earlier, we talk a lot between air forces. We share information and notes on how we do things, what works really well for us in the training environment, and what works well for us tactically also at times. So these are our closest neighbours, and we do a lot of stuff together. This guy now takes off. I believe is the Singleton, the display pilot, but we'll see if I can spot his power number. seconds there. Okay, coming through now, this is a square loop. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Loops are nice and round and glorious. This one's a square one. He's really, really happy to talk to everyone. He's 28 years old, he's from Adelaide in South Australia. He said he's married with a 2-year-old daughter. He was flying gliders before he could drive, so that tells you a little bit about the kind of guy he is and how much he loves his aviation. And his lifelong dream apparently was to fly fighters after he saw a Hornet fly past at a soccer match. So he joined the Australian Air Force in 2007. He's been flying the F-18 Hornet for 4.5 years. So the Australian Air Force has 71 of these classic Hornets in service. They've got 3 operational squadrons and 1 training squadron within their air combat group. Okay, slow pass, again that high nose attitude. That's only 25 degrees nose up. And he's going to get now he's going to dairy turn to reposition, so he rolls in the other way and then turns outside his turn. Interesting manoeuvre, the dairy turn. And this time he's coming back around for another pass, but this one will be another one of our dirty passes. So he's going to have flats and gear and air brakes and everything out, back at 180 knots. So you see the difference between the high speed and the slow speed pass right next to each other. So this aircraft is there flying in the F-18 Classic Hornet, I like the name. They were originally built by a company known as McDonnell Douglas, but that's been taken over by Boeing subsequently. And they first flew in 1978, and the All Australian Air Force bought them in 1985. Oh, a bit of a wing waggle, better give him a wave, seeing as he's waving at us. And this one is pretty impressive, and that's why he's going to be able to go from ground level to 18,000 feet for us. The top speed of Mach 1.8. Past the runway, he was pretty slow. Oh, here down. Yep. So, I haven't been listening to the radio while I've been talking. It's possible that he cancelled the. That will be left to right, and then following that will be his last circuit to land. So he will land off this display, but we will also have one other F-18 airborne to take part in the next scenario for us. So before he comes in for his overshoot, Trails told me to mention that he loves mountain biking, and he particularly loves mountain biking in New Zealand. And whenever he can, he comes over here on holidays. He was telling me he was down in Queenstown last year and did some absolute massive mountain biking. Loved it. So if any of you, would like to do a bit of that, when he's back on his static display, go over and invite him to stay. I'm sure he'd be happy to come and see you and take the bikes out. He also likes rock climbing and surfing, so he's pretty much what you would call an adrenaline junkie. There goes the overshoot. I tricked him to land, and he's just called base and has been committed to land. So this one will be the last land.
You found your hot dog.
Yeah, it sounds like what he's happy with that, so he's going to come round her initials for a break to land. Quite a cool manoeuvre for landing. Get you on the ground as quick as time possible.
Dead.
Initials is the point on the run-in to the live runway, so it's down to the left-hand end of the runway, ladies and gents. You'll probably be able to see it reasonably clearly. It depends on how far up the runway he comes. But he's going to fly towards the runway as if he were attacking it, and then do a sharp left-hand pull into a sharp turn, pulling not sure entirely how many G's, probably not more than 4, because he's going to be putting his gear and flat down at the same time, and then coming back in to land on that runway. So he's just called initials to land. Hold the wind is 240 at 12 knots. So 12 knots coming in from the sea. That's actually a really, really nice speed for landing, although he's been gusting a bit faster than that. So shouldn't give him any problems with his brake. Here he comes in.
Oh no! Oh no!
Way of announcing that you've arrived, I think. Fly down the runway, make as much noise as possible, and turn really hard. Okay, so as Woody comes around to make his landing, you can see the NH90s have got airborne over our left shoulders. They're just departing to set up for their run-in on what is the first part of our land tech.
To them low. So they can combine capabilities with this machine.
But since we're talking about the people on board, I'll give you a bit of a rundown of the crews that are flying these today. Warrior Black 1, which was the standoff aircraft at the beginning, the one that hovered high to make sure everything was safe. The pilot of that aircraft today is Flight Attendant James McKenzie. He was born in Oamaru in 1989, joined the Air Force in 2007, and after he completed his course, he posted in the 3 Squadron in 2009. So he's been there. Involved with Pacific Relief in Fiji as well. His co-pilot today is Flight Attendant Hamish Whitehart. Hamish comes from a farm south of Rotorua, and he joined the Air Force straight from school in 2006. He's just come back from the UK, where he's been doing a 3-year exchange with the Royal Air Force. Until we were waiting on the delivery of some people's Kitty Hawk. So 14th Squadron, as it was back then, saw operational service in the Pacific Theatre during World War II. There's a lovely photo moment for you. All nice. 2 spares on the ground. 14th Squadron itself has operated Harvard's Kitty Hawk F-40 Corsairs. Static displays to look at, and those of you that are coming back tomorrow, let's keep our fingers crossed that the clouds and the wind goes away. Anyway, thank you so much, ladies and gents. You've been a great crowd.